Welcome back to Western New York Tonight. I'm your host, Tammy Lee Demler. Also welcome those listening in on WLNF 90.5 FM. If you are just listening in, you are not seeing the beautiful Emily, who is here with me from McHenry. We talked a little bit about her upcoming event, but we have joining us on the phone Frankie Frain, who is also going to be participating in this event May 2nd at 2014 at 4 p.m. Market Arcade Film and Art Center. So we're going to get him on the phone, but we're also going to give Emily a chance to ask him questions too. So let's see, are we all good here? Frank, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, thanks so much for joining us. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay, I thought maybe it was someplace sunny and warm like Los Angeles and we were going to have to hate you from a distance.
No, that's impossible.
So I don't know if you were aware, but Emily McHenry, who is on the set with me, is also participating in the same event that you are.
Yeah, tremendous. I heard that. Yeah.
Cool. So, but it's all about you right now, Frankie. So Emily might have questions for you, but my question to you is, tell us what you're doing. Oh, we got some graphics here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm doing great. We're looking forward to our May 2nd screening, which I believe is a Friday at 4 p.m. And I'm screening at the same theater as your guest. But yeah, this is actually the world premiere of Having Fun Up There, my new independent feature-length film.
Okay, and so can you give us a smidge of it, a little bit, without telling too much? A little review?
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of a kind of a dry comedy about a place that a lot of artists feel that they end up in. Our main character, Mark, is a musician who he's in his late 30s. He's long since given up on the idea of being successful with his music and with his art career, but he's instead found himself working really kind of lousy jobs, low-paying jobs, and he does that because he thinks that he's using that to feed his, sort of artistic hobby. But really, that's kind of failing in his life too. And it's kind of our movie is about, I think, where a lot of independent artists are right now, which is, why am I still doing this? Is this really, how is this fulfilling me? And am I where I want to be? And we have kind of a weird take on it, but I think ultimately kind of an inspirational take on it.
Hopefully one that says, we can always be, we're all blessed in some way, even when it seems pretty bleak.
Yeah, I think it's we're trying to speak for people who are like your guest and myself, who are really just trying to make our art with our own dime, trying to keep costs extremely low, but still make a good product and do it do it for the love of it more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Frankie, I got to tell you a funny story. Are you ready?
Please.
I have this little blurb on paper, and I was reading it as if you were the 37-year-old musician who had long given up on the idea. I'm like, well, so sad, Frankie. We love you. It'll be okay. No.
I'm not a musician at all. Actually, this is the first of 4 feature-length films. This is my 4th feature-length film that I've directed, but this is the first one that I didn't actually write. I brought on a writer named Jeff Torelli, who has been playing music for a long time. He based the main character on himself and a number of his friends. So he was kind of writing a story about music and musicians and the music scene in Boston, and I was directing a movie really about making movies. So it was a nice kind of collaboration there.
So do you have a question? I think Emily might have a question for you.
Well, I wish I was still here in Buffalo on May 4th, because I would definitely come and check you out. What inspired you to write this? Were you a musician, you said at first?
Yeah, well, Jeff was a musician. Actually, this was a nice opportunity to. I've been to film school twice now. I went for undergrad at Emerson College, and then I got my MFA at Emerson College. And Jeff was in an advanced screenwriting class with me, and he had written this really kind of passionate, beautiful short script called "You Guys Looked Like You Were Really Having Fun Up There," which I looked at and said, you know what, that might be one of the first scripts I've ever read that I feel that I could adapt as a director into a feature-length film. And so I prompted him. I said, well, how would you feel about taking something so personal and giving it over to me and letting me direct it? And he was actually thrilled to do that. So as I said before, we were both trying to say something about art and ourselves as artists and about independent art in general. But we were coming at it from 2 very different world perspectives. So sometimes when you do that, you end up with kind of a clashing of outlooks, but I think this movie has a nice cohesive feel and look to it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I was going to say, are you going to be here in person on the 2nd?
Yeah, actually, because it's our premiere, all of us are. So a number of the cast members, Jeff, myself, the producers, we will, if nobody else comes, we'll be there.
Okay, perfect. And again, I'm trying to frame my thought because I know Emily's is going to be on a Saturday. Is May 2nd a Saturday?
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. Okay, very good. And so same location. We kind of went over the course of where it is. Have you been there before?
The last time I have some family in Buffalo. The last time I was in that area was there's an independent film company named Troma that did they are famous for having done like low budget B horror comedies.
Oh, okay.
And they were making a film. They were making a sequel to one of their old franchises called The Return to Nukem High, and they were shooting exactly in that area. And Jeff and I both were crew on that movie to some extent. And so that was the last time I was there. I remember the I believe that it was the Center of Arts and Culture, or Buffalo Center of Arts and Culture, something like that. They were really, really supportive of having a film crew like that in town. It seemed like Buffalo is really interested in trying to inject more kind of artists like ourselves into their culture. So that was great.
I can tell you that, my experience with, theatrical culture really just started probably within the last decade of my life. I was kind of numb to it before. I didn't really go out of my way to find it. But when I now interview all these people who have such, how many theater companies are here? There are so many. It's such a great opportunity. You need to come to Curtain Up. Yeah. It's a great annual event for sure. But again, we want to make sure that everybody understands, Frankie, that your event is May 2nd, 2014. Emily is going to be on April 26th. So it's a whole week of being able to kind of participate in that. And again, for people just tuning in, again, give a thumbs nail as to what your movie is going to be about. It's a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually more of a drama than a comedy. Very kind of dry comedy.
Dramatic comedy.
Again, about an artist who's just kind of now realizing, why should I be writing music if I can't make a career out of it? Is there still a point to doing this after all these years of perfecting my craft? Is it worth it just because I love it, or should I move on to something else? And the thing I'm most excited about, if people want to come to the screening, and I'm sure this will be the case for many other filmmakers that are attending their screenings, is we've kind of come up with a science for making low-budget films that look really good, or kind of we're very good at making the dollar stretch. Yeah. And if there are people out there who want to make their own films or want to learn something about making their own films, I love talking about making movies. So please come see us and talk to us about that.
And one point that Emily had made as hers also is on the lower end of budget, but that the true gift of talent can really be seen without a lot of the glitz and glamour of high budget. So that's an important point.
And if you have the right camera, I don't know if you used a red camera by any chance?
We used we actually did something kind of crazy. We used the
and we're almost out of time. Do you hate leaving on that note? We have 1 minute, Frankie. People can
we used something called the Canon 5D, which is a camera that a lot of people are using, but we shot it using raw video, which is you can email me if you want to know what that means.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you on the 2nd. Everybody will be there to participate. Thanks so much again.
Thank
you for calling in, Frankie. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, take care. And thank you again for tuning in. A great event. Make sure that you're part of this, both for Frankie and Emily. Upcoming, Emily's is going to be on April 26th and Frankie on May 2nd. So take care. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. I'm tuning you out, Frankie. He's all gone. All set. Perfect.